the gate. Leafeon answered by Elevate Unite and Issen Aumento. I'm thinking banning away the likes of Trevenant, banning the likes of these Pokemon, because if it's left open, if Mew is left open, they can pick it up for themselves.
Yeah, they are a heavy user of Mew, but Gyarados, they're going to be taking it away. But at the same time, yes, it's very much open here, as you said a while ago, Mew. But I think they're opting to go for the Fable ban. They're showing it, but decided to switch off with Crustle. Still a good decision because Crustle so efficient a while ago with the past couple of games with the Rock Tomb blocking and losing the mobility of the teams.
Now Mew can get picked up. If Trevenant is left open, it will be to the side of Elevate Unite. Hoopa is also available for the team, so expectedly it will be Trevenant and Hoopa. We've seen the power of Hoopa just a while back, and this will be really good coming into the composition of Elevate.
Yeah, fast rotation is the key here for Elevate, having the Hoopa, plus, of course, Tempest going to stick with the Trevenant, of course, tanky at the same time, crowd control. That has been their main playbook here so far, Infinity, and I feel like they're going to be opting to pick an attacker on the next phase. But on the other side, Aumento here going to test, or let's say, going to cherish the moment of having in Umbreon, and the appearance of Lucario is set here.
Yeah, and the appearance of Lucario means that, you know what, this will go into the top path. They're still lacking onto support or other defenders, which Slowbro is currently open for them to pick up. Blastoise is also an option for Issen Aumento, but for side of Elevate Unite, they're looking for those damage dealers, and Shua, perfect fit. It will be the Dodrio for the team along with the Espeon.
We've seen this lineup a while ago. Dodrio, Luis going for the Espeon, Hoopa, Trevenant. I feel like they're going to be closing it out with the same lineup that they had been doing a while ago, but Meowscarada is the key for Sen. So just like we said a while ago, they haven't had a solid speedster on their common league picks. Right now we get to see a speedster on their team, which I do believe it will be going into the central area later.
Oh, wow. Tyranitar is now going to get picked up by Elevate Unite. They have teased this a while ago. Miva's played this one time, but
yeah,
now they're going for it once again. Unexpected. I was thinking about the likes of Blastoise, very sustainable Pokemon that could go so much hindrance and suppression just because of the availability of Hydro Typhoon, but they're opting to go for Tyranitar. So Elevate Unite is wanting to go for that late game insurance.
Wow, I mean, it's a surprise that we're going to see Blastoise, because Blastoise has been there for a couple of times, and Miva is going to be sticking with the Tyranitar pick just like what happened a while ago. I mean, Miva contributed a lot with the Tyranitar, especially with the X speed plus the attack weight. So with this in mind, definitely when it comes to scoring in the early stages, Miva will try to maximize that one out. But we cannot deny that Aumento here has the Blizzy on their hands, in which it has been giving a lot of trouble for the other teams.
Yeah, unexpectedly, given how their composition works right now for the side of Elevate Unite, they will be doing 4-1 split, but this time around, Hoopa will be joining the 4-1 split, wherein it's now Miva who will be left unattended up until that mark wherein he reaches the final evolution. Now he can come through and follow up with the team.
Yeah, I mean, having a Hoopa, it's really a big advantage, but at the same time, if you don't sync as a team, it will be a big problem. But Infinity, game number 1 of Issen, Aumento, and Elevate Unite. Who's going to be the second team to book a ticket to Honolulu, Hawaii?
That's the question in mind here. All stakes on the line coming forth here into the lower bracket finals. And starting off, this game will be a little bit of a slow ramp up coming from each and every single one, as they still have yet to reach their evolution, still have yet to reach that level 4 to be able to come up into those fights quite later on.
I mean, this is very defensive for both teams. I haven't seen the Lucario score a point yet, because that is the key factor in having a Lucario. Score as early as you can and build up your attack weight.
Yeah, definitely. So for now, everyone's slowly ramping up. And this is what we've mentioned, right? Elevate Unite onto their composition needs time, especially for Tyranitar as a consideration. So all throughout the early mid-game, it will be Shua, it will be the likes of Lewis who will be leading the charge for the team, and also Junior Absent to be a little bit of a nuisance in the early game.
Early game itself, feel like Sent is waiting for the perfect opportunity to go for the ambush here. Same with JT. 4 members from Aumento is already gathered here, but the first move comes in from Elevate Unite. They are going to be knocking out a member here from Issen Aumento, but still they can't convert it into a goal.
Yeah, It's Chansey who goes down. First KO coming for the side of Elevate Unite. Really strong. Espeon. This is the strength pretty much of like EVs and evolutions. Having that level 4 gives them that evolution and giving them access into greater moveset down the road. And that's just the power spike that Elevate Unite wants. They have a balance of late game, they have a balance of early game power, and the availability of Hoopa just gives them that macro advantage. Just like this, Lewis coming in from bottom path, immediately comes through into the top path to respond into a potential gank up against Lucario.
Woodhammer ready, just waiting for the perfect opportunity, but JD backs away, and that is going to be 3 goals at the side of Elevate Unite. 69 points down. 7 minutes and 45 seconds here is ticking, and Dramp is just left alone here. Just going to watch every single member of Elevate Unite to score the points. But they are keeping the chase on. Tempest has to back away immediately after the Electro Ball connect.
Yeah, they cannot go for it all in here. Remember, Elevate Unite is not that strong when it comes to the early game. They're banking on the likes of Lewis to deal every single bit of damage up until Miva reaches the final evolution. So it's all about defense game here for Elevate Unite.
Game difference is key here. Tempest going to be going for the Woodhammer. Closes the path with Ryu, but has to back away immediately. Lacks HP already. Hyperspace hole is down to go in back to the base, and there is just not enough response coming to the side of Elevate Unite. They are being pinched here by Ryu. Ryu cannot score the goal, but finally does. Levels up, but still not going to be enough to take down the goal zone. Steals the Citrus Berry on the other side. Yu takes down the Hoopa in this situation, and Aumento keeps it alive, scores another goal for their own good. They have to back away already because they have been overextending a lot, and they will secure the Regirock, but the trade is the Regieleki on the top path.
Regieleki is now putting pressure on top path. They want to get those points. Elevate Unite, bot path.
Bot path is here, still the pressure is on. They're going to be taking down, of course, the first goal zone in this matchup. Respect to Ryu for canceling it out and other members, knowing that they have the larger point here. They're just going to chase here. Ryu overextending a little bit out here, but look how the tables have turned. Woodhammer is going to be thrown out. One knockout for the side of Elevate Unite, and they have to chase it down, and they're just waiting for the perfect opportunity. But speaking of the perfect opportunity, it's going to be there. Ryu gets 3 out of nowhere. Nice follow-up on the Miascarada. Going to be opting for the quadruple knockout, chasing for it. Tempest is so low. Miva not enough to secure the lives, and the bullet punch is there from the Lucario, making it a 5-man knockout, but they continue to respond in this matchup, and it is just going to be retreat at the side of Elevate.
Yeah, Issen Aumento right now, when it comes to early mid-game, just has that advantage of power, just has that advantage of strength. And Elevate Unite has to keep up the pace, has to wait for a time here. 5-minute mark will be the key, and Miva is already at the final evolution. So this is where they start to ramp up.
Ramp up immediately, and Hoopa trying to distract all the way here into the central area, not making an opportunity here for Aumento. Astonish going to be there, but no, it's just enough to buy time, and 30 seconds on the clock. Both objectives will spawn.
Both objectives will spawn 25 seconds. Actually very interesting, because typically the timer between these two objectives are a little bit different, but this time around both these teams were able to secure it hand in hand, both at the same time.
At the same time, but there is not much of a trade. I think it's going to happen here anytime soon. That is going to be the teamwork coming up against Elevate Unite, taking down a knockout up against that, but the momentum continues. Ryu going to be backing away a little bit here. Tempest too low to provide a Leech Horn plus Woodhammer to go in for the crowd control, but Miva will tank everything else on their side, and Aumento just waiting for the opportunity for them to make a move. But on the other hand, Tempest has already back in action after retreating from the hyperspace hole, and Ryu just waiting for the perfect angle. But at the same time, the Dodrio is ready to take the Reggie all the way to the bottom path.
Dunking point.
Points immediately, gonna be getting a couple here, but at the same time, Miva just zoning out every single members, every single Pokemon out here from Aumento, trying to go aggressive here, but Miascarada on the other side takes down Dodrio into the bottom path. They might take the Reggie in the bottom itself. Reggie is going to be free, but on the other hand itself, Miva takes down one. The Lucario is already out in action, gonna be feigning in that situation. Draft is left alone here. The chase continues from Miva. Not going to be enough, but the follow-up here, Ryu is just roaming around in circles, but the follow-up damage from Elevate Unite is not very much present here.
Yeah, but Miva for the longest time is going in a 4v1 situation. The power of a Tyranitar very sustainable as a Pokemon overall. And that just disabled Issen Aumento getting that KO. Elevate Unite now trying to go in for the contest onto Regieleki.
Contest onto Regieleki, but it seems like Aumento has the advantage in Woodhammer, not going to be able to last hit the Regieleki, and Tempest is just too squishy at the hands of Aumento, and they managed to knock him out, but the momentum continues here from Aumento. Got to be chasing for it. Hyperspace Hole is there for the retreat. Ryu not going to be making it, not going to be distracting all of the enemies, and they are deciding which and whoever, of course, to score the goal, because it is a matter of math game for Issen Aumento.
Yeah, the overcap is insane. Issen Aumento was able to utilize that and now jumps up with an 80-point lead in the game. 50 seconds before the Rayquaza comes up, and Miva is still trying his best to go for extra points. But at this point, Issen Aumento still has the significant lead, and it's Elevate Unite who has to force the objective.
Issen Aumento has the lead already after a couple of minutes, after almost 8 minutes into the game mark, and they are just abusing it, maximizing it out, waiting for those opportunities that Elevate Unite would be open.
Right, 30 seconds now. Elevate. They have to start having that position onto Rayquaza. Similarly, Issen Aumento has to get that positional advantage. If we're looking at the minimap on hand here, Ryu a little bit overextended, but they want to go for the flank. It's Umbreon who has innate tankiness, so he's able to go in, overstep the boundary squad a bit, and go back to safety. 2 minutes down the mark. Rayquaza is now up.
Rayquaza online, Miva ready to front line here, and of course, look at the Hoopa just waiting for the perfect opportunity for the Unite move so that the rotation would be so quick. But on the other hand, it is Elevate going to start things off because they are behind a little bit here, but they're just waiting for the team to make a mistake. It is all about a waiting game once again. Ryu just reading the situation, finding for the other members of Elevate Unite. They are so confused where the others are. They know there's a Hoopa that could make everyone else appear on the hyperspace hole.
All the Unite moves are currently available. If you're looking at Shua's positioning, it's all about playing the defense game onto the tier 2 goal zone. They do not want any more points coming into Issen Aumento. Consider the fact that they also have Hoopa for the rings and bound. So at any given time, they could go in and come through into the Rayquaza pit. Look at Lucari's positioning as well. If ever Shua decides to go in for points, Lucari can jump in and deny it.
Last 1 minute so far, no one has started yet. The Rayquaza, and it still is an Aumento with the
Lucario's
lead.
jumping.
They're just waiting.
Denied.
Lucario jumped and not going to be denying the scoring because it makes it in time. But at the same time, Horn Leech going to be used to back away.
Miva!
For his life.
Oh!
The camera's going to be there. Not going to be pinching 2 members. But the Unite move comes up on their side. But the rotation going to be there going back.
Oh, that was
into the
massive!
Hyperspace hole. But the ultimate comes in for the Hoopa. And they are just massive here. Gathering once again, Elevate Unite. Unite move still ticks here at the side of Hoopa, but Mew gets the first knockout in this situation. 30 seconds on the clock. Rayquaza is still alive. Elevate Unite trying their best to keep alive, and of course to secure the Rayquaza, but it is an Aumento zoning each and every single member of Elevate Unite, and they can't seem to get the goal here. The goal won't be enough here. Woodhammer going to be stopping SW here. Saltboil is down. 10 seconds on the clock, and Elevate cannot seem to secure the Rayquaza and the goal, and Aumento takes game number 1.
What a play of time! Elevate Unite was at a disadvantage, but just 2 dunks, and they changed the tide of the game.
Wow, what a diversion. For a second, I thought it was a story about Aumento. It actually slipped out of my mouth that Aumento secured it, but look how the tables have turned. It was just situations that Elevate Unite converted into a win.
Yeah, if we can recall, coming down into the final minute, it was Shua who was adventuring down onto the top part of the map. And remember the passive off a Dodrio that can split apart those points and dunk in much more quicker. And that is what Shua utilized. And Lucario was forced to jump in into the tier 2 goal zone to protect the top pad, but not where in fact Shua was able to go in for the 20 points in the process. And after that, Miva was also sneaking down into the bottom pad, gained them that 50-point dunk. And Elevate, with those 2 moves of Shua and Miva going into the tier 2 goal zone, they got the 20-point lead.
Elevate once again elevated their team composition, their strategy, the way of execution. Without securing their Rayquaza, they just needed a leeway, a diversion, a segue in order to guarantee the goals that they need in order to overtake the situation.
And the reason why they're able to do just that, from that split, on Shua going on top, it will be Elevate Unite who can utilize this Pokemon to their advantage.
Alright, Crossell out here, denying the Rock Tomb that can close out this pain, but at the same time consistent ban, knowing that Mimikyu is already out, so no 1v1s, but they can still up choose Serena.
Yeah, Issen Aumento has to ban away the Leafeon. If they leave it open, it will be an immediate pickup coming from Elevate Unite. And here we go, Meowscarada, Crustle as a ban for Elevate Unite, and Issen Aumento removing Mimikyu and Leafeon. Two Pokemon that is being utilized by Miva.
Wow, that is just pure respect ban. They are really threatened up against Miva, but high prioritization here for Elevate is going to be Mew, not going to be Gyarados, and I think JT will enjoy the pleasure, of course, of having Gyarados, but at the same time, Ryu going to take away Trevenant up against Tempest.
Yeah, and it's really fortunate for Issen Aumento to be able to capitalize onto the availability of Gyarados and Trevenant in the same process. But Elevate Unite, off their own, they have the Hoopa once more. We saw the power of Hoopa just a while back in the prior game. So definitely something to watch out for when it comes to the macro utilization of this Pokemon. For Issen Aumento, they lock in onto Blissey and they lock in onto Sylveon, so sustain and damage locked in.
This is a very well-rounded lineup once again for Issen Aumento. And then on the other side, Elevate, they still have Hoopa, which gave a lot of room during their past game up against Aumento. Might tell you, and they still have Tyranitar as Miva and Shua going to stick with Dodrio. So this is just a change of defender, I'd say, for Elevate Unite, because Ryu managed to take Trevenant away from him.
Yeah, and at this point, Issen Aumento has to decide who will be the central Pokemon for their team, and could possibly be could just possibly be Glaceon or Sylveon this time around, who will come into the central area for Issen Aumento. So eyes on possibly Sand or possibly Dreamt in this game for Issen Aumento, how they're able to roam around the map and deal a lot of significant effect and benefit for the team.
Evolution, it's just full of evolution here in the lobby, Infinity, and Sand. We've seen Sen a couple of times using Glaceon already. It has been efficient, and they really need that efficiency through this game because they really need to chase for a victory extended to game number 3 to keep their dreams alive in representing Philippines on Honolulu.
Yeah. Representing the Philippines, representing the region, and representing APAC East. But this is it. Elevate Unite, one game away to taking the second slot into the World Championship Series. But looking into the bird's eye view into the composition that we have, I think both of these teams have a well-balanced draft. You have late game onto Tyranitar for the side of Elevate Unite, and early game is provided by Dodrio and the Mew availability. Umbreon is there as well to be one of their tanks, one of their defenders coming forth into this game. And now onto their opposition, you have Sylveon, you have Glaceon, very strong early on. Gyarados evolves at level 5, so that is something to expect coming in for this game too.
Yeah, that is what we expect. Elevate just needs one more push to secure their tickets to Honolulu, Hawaii. But Aumento ready for the revenge story here as well, Infinity, as they are going to start things quickly here, especially JT needs to go level 5 as fast as he can.
Yeah, level 5 as soon as possible. Still really funny. I like how Magikarp just flails consistently as he walks, or
Splash.
is it really walk? Does he walk? Does Magikarp walk?
Nah. I mean, first and foremost, it doesn't walk, it doesn't have feet, and then second,
It jumps?
jumps, splashes only, so you kind of understand it doesn't walk.
Yeah, definitely so. But right now, already at level 4 for Magikarp. One level away before Gyarados comes up and available for Issen Aumento. But Elevate Unite, these rotations are very important. Reaching already at level 4, so Mew and Shua will be the key here on how they can push back Issen Aumento.
Yeah, gotta push back Aumento. Gotta apply the pressure because they're the ones controlling the game right now, because they just won the first set of this series, and Elevate just needs the momentum to keep it going, of course, in order to secure the victory. But Magikarp keeps on splashing around. You're not going to be getting the level 5 mark, and Dodrio, aka Shua, will try to go aggressive, but not going to be securing the kill up against JT.
And as we've mentioned, really good rotation coming in from Shua, going on top side, on top of the stadium, wherein those good responses allowed them to get a lion's share of the Altarius and Swablu's availability. The bird Pokemon into the top path, which is really important if they want to gain as much experience as they can and as much level as they can.
Tempest has an opportunity to score a goal here. The Pantheon won't be letting that happen, and JT level 5 right now, but not being able to evolve because the effort gauge is not yet full, so needs more time, extra time here. Has to score a goal or probably could get a wild Pokemon in order to evolve, but Shua was just there guarding, not making an opportunity for JT to evolve.
Yeah, Issen Aumento now having level 5, level 6, level 7. Really good for this team as well to be able to capitalize down into the objective to come, because the thing is, they're much greater in the perspective of strength and power in the early game matchup. So definitely something that Elevate Unite has to respect, especially since we are approaching 7-minute mark and Issen Aumento has that dominance here in the early game.
JT preparing to bounce here. Does spot out a couple of members here from Elevate. Spots out Neva, and the rotation comes up from the hyperspace goal. Over to the present here, rotation comes up. 1v1 onto the bottom path. Preparing to take the objective here in the Regilake on the top path.
Yeah, it's a 4-1 split for both sides. It will be Trevenant to defense for Issen Aumento, and it will be Umbreon for Elevate Unite. Regieleki will take it.
Regilake will take it here, but who's controlling Regilake? Instead, it is going to be Elevate, but quickly denies by Aumento, defending the Regilake despite the last hit coming in from the Hoopa. So that was a quick response from Aumento, not letting an opportunity fall in the hands of Elevate.
And that's what we called. It's just too strong. Issen Aumento right now, they have the early game lead.
Early game lead, and Registeel 30% mark already. Shua just ready to secure it, and the last hit will fall in their hands. Plus, Pupitar still, no evolution will happen up against the Tyranitar and the hyperspace hole. Ready for the backup here for Elevate. That's why Aumento decided to back away immediately, but the chase continues coming on their side. Trem is pinched all the way in the center of the central area.
A good utilization of the Hoopa. They got the Registeel and immediate respond onto the top path just a while back. Right now, already reaching level 9, so Miva will start to ramp up this time around. Issen Aumento has to slow down the pace. They have to respect on the team of Elevate Unite.
Really have to respect, but Tyranitar here, trying to go aggressive. Hindrance resistance is very much present, but still applying the pressure that they need. Tempest waiting for the perfect opportunity.
Elevator.
And there we have it, the Elevator, aka the hyperspace hole, ready for the response. And Elevate keeps on guarding their goal zone, not letting Aumento make a shot on their air's energy. Woodhammer going to be there, has to check away.
Tyrannical Rampage.
The live knockout once again here, coming to the side of Elevate Unite. Woodhammer going to be buying enough time here from Miva. The backup is already present. Sen will deploy multiple damage here. Yes, they do. Triple knockout at the side of Aumento. Has the opportunity to score some goals, but there is just still Pokemons guarding their goal zone.
Lewis going for the surf, pushes them back.
Pushes them back immediately. Woodhammer back again in action. They can't seem to find an opportunity to score the goal here. Unite move going to be popped off by the Mew, but at the same time, it is just too hard for Aumento to make a shot here in the goal zone. Hornleech going to be there. Woodhammer going to be making the shot. Yes, they do take down the Tyranitar in this situation. With the hyperspace hole ready for this action. Rotations not yet happening. Nice moveset coming in from Elevate. And they have elevated once again their strategy. Shua going to be taking down one from the evolutions. They are the ones so far who can make the goal, who can score it. And Drem kept running away, but at the same time, they're straight on the other side. The Blizzy will be making 40 points on the bank, and the rotation will come in on the other side itself. SW keeps on buying time, and there we have it. Finally, knockout for Elevate Unite.
Absolute showing coming in from both sides here. Very close of a match. A 12-point lead for Elevate Unite, but this can change anytime soon. Mew will be able to take down the Regirock, but Regieleki is pushing down on top hat.
This could be an advantage for Aumento already, knowing that Regilake is pushing all the way to the top side, but the Hornleech won't be making the shot. Does get hit. Unite will be there for a knockoff, and Shua kept running away with Hammer going to be hitting the first mark.
Isolated.
Yes, they do hit the second plus the knockout, and the rotation will be coming in anytime soon. Tempest and the Mew is ready for the action, but they decided to rotate immediately. Tempest going to go for the ambush itself. The Horn Leech will be there present once again. With Hammer not going to follow up, has to go back to the base immediately from the hole that Hoopa has opened for them. The bounce will be there from the Gyarados.
JT Unite.
The Hyper Voice on the backline itself takes a double knockout on their own and just
Mirage.
continuing, and the Mirage is already there.
Not enough.
Look at that, not enough. But at the same time, they managed to get a couple of kills, and Aumento can take down the goal zone here in the bottom path.
Issen Aumento sustaining all throughout that fight, and they win it. And Elevate Unite wants a point of their own on top, but that's not enough. Issen Aumento now got a huge lead.
Huge lead, very favorable for them, but still, Elevate can still elevate their performance, I'd say. Could probably go for a reassessment. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock. A lot of things can still happen here.
There's just so much damage sources coming from Issen Aumento, alongside with the possibility of suppression from the likes of Trevenant and Gyarados from Issen Aumento's side. So that prolonged matchup, alongside with a Blissey, was a bit favorable for the side of ISN. And in the end, Elevate Unite was having a little bit of a struggle out from the pressure on top and having that fight in bot.
Having that fight in the bottom lane, they can't afford to go for the Reggies right now because 5 seconds on the clock, Rayquaza will be out, and this is just going to be a defending game for Aumento, and Elevate will try to get the Rayquaza in order to do a segue.
It will be crucial for the Trevenant and also the Gyarados for Issen Aumento to be able to take that win. They just have to play defense. For Elevate Unite, however, they have the utilization of the Hoopa. So if they want to go sneak around and dunk some points onto enemy goal zone, that they can do.
Neva ready for the zone. Trevenant gonna be doing the entry point, trying to gather information. The vision is already present. Solar Beam going to be there, making a distraction. But at the same time, the Sylveon just waiting for the perfect opportunity all the way to the top path. And Elevate Unite can't seem to find a path to start the Rayquaza, but Neva trying to go aggressive once and for all. The Glaceon will be there in the back line trying to assist.
A minute left for Elevate Unite to do something. They have to force out the fight. Hyperspace Hole now goes in for the reset. Phantom Force denies it!
No reset for them as Neva will try to run away for his life to keep it alive. But on the other hand itself, it is just pure defense from Aumento. They are not letting Elevate touch Rayquaza in this situation, but on the back line itself, it's the Glaceon pretty much available here. Can secure the Rayquaza, but will not gamble it because it could be stolen still by the Solar Beam of the Mew. Wood Hammer not going to be hitting anyone else. Dodrio, aka Shua, ready to take action at this point, and Elevate started with the team fight already with the Rayquaza halfway already done. The Meteors are there coming in from the Rayquaza. One width away. Who's going to secure the last hit? And Elevate does secure it together with the Hyper Save pull from the Hoopa. Together with the Unite move that they use in order to make everything as quick as they can. And that is going to be quick scores coming in from the side of Dodrio because that is the one thing that is so unique. They have to defend the bottom.
Oh,
yes, they do! With the super jump! 3 members of Aumento won't be hitting the goal zone.
And just like that, without enough defense on the objective with Elevate Unite securing the Rayquaza, Elevate will turn the tides in their favor and secure Game 2.
Secured Game 2 for Elevate makes them advance into the grand finals of the tournament, and they are ready for their revenge story. But at the same time, let us not forget, Elevate Unite is the second team from our region to qualify to the WCS in Honolulu.
What a game to watch. And we were discussing this, right? During the composition, during the draft phase, that Issen Aumento had a huge lead, had a better lead, had a better composition coming into the game. But when it came down to the last couple of minutes into the matchup, Elevate Unite, that is their strength and that is their power. Now, Elevate Unite has the Hoopa. Their macro game was so good. So when Ryu forced out the Phantom Force, they went in for the reset, they came back into the fight. There was no more suppression left for Issen Aumento to deny the objective away from Elevate Unite.
They just kept on elevating their performance always during the final stretch. The same story happened here. Just take a look at